Monkey Man follows in the footsteps of John Wick and Oldboy by being a badass thrill ride. Hi, I'm your host Rob, and on this episode of Atomic Vision, today's special guest is Monkey Man. Oh, that Monkey Man. Close enough. It makes so much sense why Jordan Peele fought hard to save this movie, because it really aligns with the studio's goals. While it is an action-packed, blood-pumping thriller with all the gory spectacle you adrenaline junkies are craving, it's also about something far more deeper than expected. With all its beautifully choreographed fight sequences, is a movie about corruption, abuse of power, and sticking up for the vulnerable. I know that in this day and age where if a film even sniffs at something political, it is met with a lot of dismissive reactions, but Monkey Man handles its heavier themes with a lot of grace, beauty, and heartbreak. Dev Patel made this film because, end quote, the action genre has sometimes been abused by the system, so I wanted to give it a real soul, real trauma, real pain, and I wanted to infuse it with a little bit of culture. And that is exactly what he did. This movie is proud of its heritage and it infuses it into the action sequences in very creative and unique ways. Yeah, you could have made this in America with your generic average Hollywood guy, but the essence of the film goes beyond the spectacle. It's the same reason a film like Black Panther resonates with so many, but specifically a focal audience. Monkey Man works because it embraces its originality within a story structure that is truly tired. That alone makes the movie fresh, fun, and different. This isn't just called Monkey Man because it's a funny title playing on the superhero tropes of the last few decades. It's called Monkey Man because this is pretty much a reinterpretation of the Indian legend done through the action genre. The movie opens and closes with a legend, and the way Dev sneaks in references to multiple iconic moments from the tale of Hanuman is pretty ingenious. The villains, while uniquely shown from the perspective of Indian culture, are still universally evil for the exact same reasons anyone in power is corrupt. I loved how the film manages to make the specific storyline resonate with the audience, no matter the background you come from. It's why films like John Wick connect to so many people, but here, it's done in a way that feels personal, and I love when a film has a delicate reason for existing. This is Dev Patel's directorial debut, and if you told me this after watching the movie, I think I'd lose my shit. This is crafted so damn well, you think Dev has been doing this his whole life. In case you didn't know, this movie has an insane production history that's just as intense as the film itself. Monkey Man was very close to never being made. Dev Patel came up with this idea in 2018, and after failing to convince his friend, director Neil Blomkamp, to make the movie, Neil said, "Why don't you direct it yourself?" Dev took those words to heart, and right as he was about to start filming, COVID happened and shut the whole production down. With very little options left thanks to a nearly apocalyptic catastrophe, Dev had to relocate the entire production to Indonesia, and right as the camera started to roll, Dev immediately broke his hand. Things weren't exactly going well, but it was about to get even weirder. After the toughest fight Dev has ever had making a movie, a year later and a pandemic behind us, Monkey Man was finally finished for its unceremonious Netflix release. Yup, this was supposed to be a streaming movie. However, just as Netflix began watching the movie, the studio immediately got cold feet, realizing this film went a lot deeper than what was expected, and they began panicking. They started taking meetings to sell the film off, and right as all hope seemed lost, Monkey Man met its savior, Jordan Peele. He saw the movie and he wasn't going to let Netflix bury the film like it was some tax write-off. So he did the one thing any normal producer would do and bought the film with his production company. Dev Patel couldn't believe it, having described the chaos as being swept under the rug only to be put on the most lavish pedestal in all of Hollywood. And after seeing the film, I couldn't agree more. Influenced by action giants like Oldboy, John Wick, and specifically Game of Death starring Bruce Lee, this movie just oozes inspiration, but with its own unique twists. Yes, you get homages to these past films, specifically Oldboy's iconic hallway fight scene, but the way Monkey Man does its homages feel unexpected and hilarious. Dev Patel put his blood, sweat, and tears into the making of this film. Having to write, direct, and star as the lead is no easy feat, and I am in awe of what he has accomplished here. This seems to be a reoccurring trend on my channel, but between this and my review of Godzilla x Kong, both films are based on primates, and both main characters barely even talk in their films. Dev's character speaks just as little as John Wick, but is able to convey a wide range of emotions just from his expressions. It reminds me of Robert Pattinson from The Batman, so many words with just a look. While I wish the editing was a bit tighter during the second act, and that some of the handheld camera scenes had less shakiness to them, even then, the result is pretty remarkable for a directorial debut. I highly recommend Monkey Man. This is a knockout smash hit, and I'm happy Jordan Peele saved this movie from getting buried underneath all the seasons of The Circle. I can't believe that a movie called Monkey Man balances so much levity, while also being about a guy who wears a monkey mask. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Atomic Vision, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Also, I would like to give my condolences to any couples that go to see this movie, because one of you is definitely walking out of this film falling in love with Dev Patel.